In today's video, what are we doing today? I've got my schedule up. I've not long finished at work. It's been another long day. If you're watching this, just know that I've worked a lot of days. My back. What back? I don't think I have a spine anymore. It doesn't exist, but I'm going to open my can of Pepsi. We're going to do my favourite series of 2021. That's what today's video is. You'll have already seen from the title. And actually, I do need to go on with recording a few videos. I need to get them done. Because I haven't recorded like a proper video in a few days. Everything I've recorded has been like Road to Glory and FIFA content. Everything else I've recorded like way in advance. So from now on, I've got to get recording again. But I meant to have a day off and I didn't. I've got my Pepsi. Which is nice and cold. Not particularly what you want when it's freezing today. But that being said, I've had a shower. My hair's nice and fluffy. Look at that. Let's get into it. I've actually made a note somewhere. I don't know where that's come from. Delete that. Yes. Is it there? It is. So we're going to be doing. Oh, hang on. Series, yes. So on Thursday, you're going to see my favourite movies of 2020. I've written 2021 here. It's 2020 in it. 2020, and then on the following Monday, you're going to do. We're going to see my favourite albums / artists / sort of songs that I've listened to throughout. So, yeah. With that being said, here we go. I just want to point out there's probably going to be spoilers in here. I will list the series in the description, just so you guys know what's coming up. If you've seen them, then you can watch the video. If you haven't seen them and you're planning on watching them, then definitely don't watch the video because there will be spoilers. Not that there'll be any big spoilers, but maybe a few actually. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway. Without further ado, let's get into the first one. Let me have a sip of my drink. We have Sex Education Series 2. Now, Sex Education was one of my favourite series. In fact, there we go. Sex Education was one of my favourite series last year. So when Season 2 dropped, I think the start of this year, when did it drop? I did that without making a single spelling error. It came out on the 17th of January. Wow. So, yeah. Sex Education Series 2. It followed, main characters all the way through. There was a sexual assault scene that was quite evident throughout the whole series. And the long-term effect that had. It had everything following on. Why can I not remember the fucking main character's name? That's what I'm doing. Otis. Of course it's Otis. There we go. I didn't even type on it. Otis. Obviously at the end of last series, fell in love with Ola. Well, didn't fall in love. Start going out with Ola. Of which, what's her face didn't like was about to say she loved him and this, that, the other. It followed on from that where actually Otis did like said girl instead of Ola, and then it ends off like completely opposite side where Mr. Man in a wheelchair, the absolute dickhead himself, deletes a message. I think it played on your emotions quite a lot, and it's not often a second series really hits as well as the first. After the first one's had such good success, usually the second one's okay. This one lives straight up to the expectations. I've rated this a 9 out of 10. This video, I'm just going to put it in there, this video is going to expose my lack of knowledge in terms of remembering names and characters, you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, I've watched all these, I've loved all of these, but I can't remember character names. It's a bugger for me. Anyway, moving on. We have, and the reason I wanted to wait until this video for today is because I finished this, not yesterday, the day before, and that is Scorpion. I'll probably give you the most information about this because it's fresh in my brain. Scorpion. I've watched all 4 seasons of Scorpion. Now it follows a team of geniuses that band together. They've been a few of them have been friends for a while. A few of them meet along the way, and they have a high IQ. They're very knowledgeable, very techy. There's the guy that plays Finch. I just want to double check this because me and my mum were calling him Finch throughout watching this. Scorpion cast. It had. Yeah, no, it definitely was Paul Finch. See, we knew it. He's Finch out of American Pie. He is how do you explain it? He reads people. He's a good psychologist and he's a doctor. And there's Cabe, who works for Homeland. He basically gets a lot of the cases for them, although they are allowed to contract outside of the government. Walter O'Brien Page is played by Catherine McPhee. It's a very good series. I really enjoyed it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, each episode's storyline is based on like something that happens and they have to solve the problem, and it's only them that can solve it because it's such a high tech or a ridiculous solution that it only comes up with the most genius minds to solve it. You know what I mean? Each episode is definitely the most ridiculous sort of plot ever. They are so far-fetched. It is so outrageously it's weird. But that being said, it made for a great TV show. But what captures the best sort of thing for me is how well the character developments are with each person, with each couple in it, with each sort of like the way it goes around it. And you really are thrown in to a bunch of not necessarily misfits because they brand themselves as sort of like misfits that got bullied at school for having they don't interact well. They have low EQ but high IQ, and so many different things happen in which the characters then get built, and then obviously Paige in it and Cabe don't have high IQ, they have a good EQ, and they work together to bring up the EQ of all the geniuses while they learn bits along the way. You know what I mean? So it's really good. The character development is incredible. There's the sort of relationships that are formed and lost and formed. It's really good, and I really did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. It's one it really piqued my interest. I don't know why, but it really captivates you each sort of episode, and then I got really engrossed in it. So, what did I rate it? I rated it a 9.5 out of 10. Now, that's not necessarily on like the quality of each episode, because like if I was rating it based on an actual TV series, I'd put it probably about 7.5 to 8 out of 10. But personally, I just really enjoyed it. I liked it. It was good. Now the ending, it did get cancelled at season 4, so they had to sort of write out the characters. And usually, I'm a big fan of just like letting things be as they were, and then like a happy ending. You know what I mean? This ends on a massive, not necessarily a cliffhanger, but a massive sort of divide where everything just ends up fucking up, everything breaks, and nothing's as it was throughout the whole season. Now, usually I'd hate that. I'd be like, oh, what's that? Why? But it made for sort of like it fit within Scorpion because of how quick you're really thrown into things and how quick things progress. That you can definitely agree that that's how quick it could end and all fall to bits. You know what I mean? So it worked. Like I say, for me, 9.5 out of 10. Next, we have a series that I started watching at the start of lockdown. I'm fuming. I can't remember what series I got up to. But it is Vampire Diaries. There's 8 seasons. I think I'm midway through season 6. If I remember correctly, I was midway through season 6, so I didn't get through all 8 seasons before Netflix took it off. I'm fuming. I tried to get as much watched as I could, and I couldn't. However, boys, right, I always saw like Vampire Diaries similar to what's it called, Gossip Girl, similar to all them sort of ones where it's just like not really a lads TV show, fuck me, it's great. Like, oh, I loved Teen Wolf. I absolutely loved Teen Wolf, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give Vampire Diaries a go. Becky had already watched it. She'd missed bits throughout, so she said she'll start watching it. I started watching it. Wow, what a TV show that is. Just the character arcs. Like, the best thing that it does is make you fall in love with bad characters and make you hate the good characters. It's so weird. Like, normally in a series you think, oh, you're the good guys, you root for them, you know, you like to see relationships form and this, that, the other. This one, you've got Damon, the bad brother of the two, the one that kicks out, the one that, you know, goes on vampire fucking rages and just eats and kills people, you know what I mean? Don't eat them, you know. And he's the bad brother, whereas Stefan is the good brother. But you sit there and you think, Stefan deserves all the goodness because he's good, but Damon doesn't deserve the badness just because he's bad. You know what I mean? And it sort of messes with your head to think. You start to like the bad characters and just disregard the good. It's so weird. And the character arcs throughout all the seasons are just perfect. There's not a single character I thought, you know what I mean? There's not a single one where I thought that, you know, actually no, that's a lie. I didn't like Bonnie's character arc so far. It might get better, I don't know. I haven't finished watching all the seasons. But like I said, Bonnie, who's the witch in it, I just don't like her character in general, but everyone else seems perfectly fine. So I've also rated that a 9.5 out of 10, you know. It's so good at just captivating an audience. No, why did it change that to a date? There we go. Next. So that's Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries is huge. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. Like I say, I'm saying the same for all of this. I just might be able to talk a bit more about the things I've watched more recent than the others. Next is a strange one for me. It is Emily in Paris. It's a proper chick flick, sort of girly girl sort of series, yet not like, it's not really a comedy as such. It's just more like a really girly thing. It's how I describe it. I watched it. Becky put it on one night. She went, "We'll just put something on while we fall asleep. And if it's good, it's good. If it's not, we'll turn it off," sort of thing. It was just one of those. We'll put it on. It's new. Bruv, I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, this Emily character, she comes from America. Her boss, he's supposed to move over to Paris. She's meant to get her boss's job, you know, get that promotion, become head of whatever it is that is the department that she works in. But on the first day, you'll see this on the first episode anyway, so it's not really a spoiler. But you'll see that her boss gets pregnant, or finds out she's pregnant, so can't go to Paris, you know. So she's like, shit, what are we going to do? So then Emily's like, I'll go to Paris. I'll be the person that, you know, is an ambassador for this American company. So basically it's about a fashion designing company. Or, no, sorry, it's a what do you call it? Like an advertisement sort of agency company that she works for in America. They're teaming up with someone in France who works along all the best fashion designers. That sort of, it's sort of like a big global agency that have like different fingers in each thing. They've got this new one in France, in Paris. So Emily has to move to Paris. Hence, Emily in Paris. From there, she meets her boss, who, like all the French people or anyone in that company, thinks there's this tardy American person coming over. It's all going to be So the French people sort of disregard her, don't really speak to her very much, and just, you know what I mean? On the flip side of that, you've got Emily, who's trying to be so ambitious, like, I'm part of this company now, la la la, I've got these ideas, just let me know. And they're just like, and she has to sort of learn to follow the French way of just sort of getting on with it, just being a bit more blasé about things, stop being uptight, do as much as you can, really taking the culture while you're there. It's not just it's like what one of the characters is my favourite characters in the thing. Let me see if I can get up what his name is, because because I really enjoyed it. It was so funny. Here is. Oh, who is it? This guy, Bruno Guerri, plays Luke. Luke. Oh my, he's so funny. He plays this French guy that works there. He's a bit more flamboyant. He's really like, what the fuck? He's just really like, I don't know how to describe him. He's just he's sort of like flimsy. He's just a bit, no, whimsical. That's the word I want to use. And he is so funny. He just comes out with the funniest shit. And every time he speaks, I'm just in tears. It's so random and jokes. But yeah, him and this other character, who is it? Let me find it. Might be Julian, but there's no picture for him. Yeah, it's Samuel Arnold, who plays a guy called Julian. Them two work for the same boss, so they're sort of under the same branch. They do a very similar thing to what Emily will be doing. They just work in sort of like different sort of departments, or they've got a different role. Anyway, them two both like, get to know Emily and sort of advise her what to do with the boss, what not to do, and just give her sort of the inside scoop. And they're both sort of like gossipy, and it's just dead funny. Anyway, there's a love relationship in it with her and a neighbour, and the fact that she meets this girl who becomes sort of like a best friend, and then she finds out that this girl that she'd met is also going out with the guy like in her apartment block, and it's all just a bit entangled but funny, and so many funny shit happens, and it just ends on a good note, and it is so funny. But yeah, there's also this weird character arc where her boss is sleeping with one of her clients, but this client also likes her. It's all a bit intertwined. It's all really complicated but funny, and I honestly, it won't take you long to watch it. It's really funny in its own sort of sense. It's not there to be comical, but it is funny, and it's just quite an easy watch. So I rated that a 9 out of 10 as well. There's a few things I don't like about it, but boys, it's jokes. If you like me, which probably not, you probably won't end up watching it, but I had so much fun watching it. It was jokes. Now, getting on to my only 10 out of 10. Let me just type it in just so I can reference it a little bit, because like I say, my memory's shite, and it's all a bit dodgy. Warrior Nun. When I heard my dad say to me, "You need to watch this," I was like, "What? It sounds jokes." I was like, "No, I'm not all about this politics, non-malarkey." He was like, "No. It's fucking sick." And I went, "Right, okay." So like I say, during lockdown, I went, I'll give it a watch then, Dad. Fucking mint. Oh my days, what a series. You follow this girl called Ava, right? And she's an orphaned girl who witnessed something bad happen to her a friend in this sort of like nunnery house where she was living in like an old orphanage. Basically, she then escapes. Oh no, she has no legs. She dies, or is on her deathbed. There's this whole coven of like magical ability sort of powers, and like this whole sort of cult that's there to serve the warrior nun, where an angel's halo originally fell to earth or was created and placed inside someone's back. Now the holder of this has extreme powers. Okay, so they're transporting this in these catacombs / like church thing, where she happens to be placed. Now there's like the bad guys that try and steal this and whatever. So during all this commotion of the bad guys fighting the warrior nun sort of coven, and this girl lying on a deathbed in this sort of like catacomby sort of like church building, the halo gets misplaced into said orphaned girl, who then, resurrects. I've got all these powers, but I'm scared and I don't know what's going on, so runs away. Drama. Here we go. It's in a morgue. That's the word I was looking for. She wakes up in a morgue with inexplicable powers and gets caught up in a battle between good and evil. There we go. So there is people that are trying to find out about all these powers, what they can do, harness them. There are different artifacts spread across Earth. where it reacts specifically to the person with the halo, so it's like armor and shields and weapons, and bro, I can't explain it. It's just so good. But she joins this sister, sort of like this sisterhood with Sister Beatrice. I'm trying to get up Sister Camilla, Sister Mary, and all these. Anyway, it's long. It's so good, and I remember I was at my mate's house when I watched the last half of the episode. Of the last half of the last episode, and the twists in the last half of the episode were insane, and I was like, and bearing in mind my mate is sat there watching the last half of this episode going, what's this, I want to watch it. It was so sick, bro. If there is one thing you haven't watched but need to watch, it's Warrior Nun. It was insane, so that's why I've rated it a 10 out of 10. I had no issues with the whole thing. I had my suspicions throughout the series, but the twist is it's a twist, but it's a twist. It comes out of nowhere. Anyway, that's the last one. No, it's not. One more. And it's one that I can't particularly remember watching. No, I do remember watching it, but I can't remember paying that much attention to it, and it is Teenage Bounty Hunters. Now, this was another one throughout lockdown where I put it on. Oh no, Becky put it on. And then we sort of got watching it a little bit. It didn't take my fancy as much as the rest have. I'm not gonna lie, but it was still good. I still liked it. I still find it thoroughly enjoyable. It was very comical. It was just a little bit cheesy, and it was just a little bit cheesy. It's about two girls who, what are they doing? They're coming back from school. They're from a very, what's the right word I can use for this? A very strict sort of family where they're straight A students. They're Catholics. Are they Catholics or Protestants? They're religious. Anyway, they go to a school and everything's like, you read the Bible. She's becoming head girl, but her sister has a boyfriend, and that's a bit of an iffy situation. Anyway, they're driving home and they crash the car into what they then find out is a suspect. A bounty hunter's chasing them, and the bounty hunter goes, oh my god, are you two bounty hunters too? I've been on this guy's case. How about we just lug the body, arrest him, and then we split the profit? And they're like, yeah, we'll do that, yeah. And they pretend to be bounty hunters. Anyway, soon the guy finds out they're not actually bounty hunters, but they need to refix the car and pay for the car to be done. So they go for undercover jobs at an ice cream parlour where the same bounty hunter works. He runs an ice cream shop, but also he's a bounty hunter on the side. So there's like a little relationship that's formed there between the guy and the two girls. He doesn't really like them, thinks they're a bit dodgy, but understands that they can help him out on jobs and they can split the profits. So it works. And they go on lots of jobs. Obviously, they don't want their parents to find out that they've become bounty hunters for like a summer. And it is kind of like, it's really easy to watch. It's just one where you can put it on. You're playing FIFA, or you're just playing your games, or you're just chilling out for an afternoon. And it's just a little fun series. So I rated that as 7 out of 10. There were a few issues. It was really cheesy, and it is just a bit soft, but all in all, like, there is this whole thing in the school as well where they find out that they've been bounty hunters, where one of the girls' dads in the convent actually isn't a nice guy. It's not a convent. I keep saying the word convent in the school. They find out he isn't a nice guy and he's actually wanted, and he ends up being one of the suspects at some point. And there's this other girl in school that is horrible, but then I don't want to spoil it because it's quite cute, but you'll see how it goes. But yeah, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Go and check out all of the above, everything that I've mentioned and put in the description. Please go and check out, because it is really, really, like I say, they are easy watches, most of them. Vampire Diaries is long. I think, to be fair, Vampire Diaries is the only long series I've watched. I didn't even get all the way through it. Sex Ed has 2 seasons. Scorpion has 4, and they're deadly quick to watch. Emily in Paris has 1 season. Dead easy to watch. Warrior Nun 1 season. Highly recommend that. I can't wait for season 2. And I can't wait for Witcher season 2 to come out as well. And Teenage Bounty Hunters, like I say, very easy to watch. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed.